Adults love them and your kids will too. Mrs. T's Rogies. We've got happy food down to a T.
Game Day New York's Jim Rosenfield.
When I'm around football, I really enjoy it. I love coaching.
Mike Francesa.
Football is so big right now in New York, and there's so much enthusiasm.
And the show on Sundays is an exciting place to be.
Game Day New York, Sunday at 8:30, only on NBC4.
Dogged by disturbing poll numbers, George W. Bush was supposed to begin his comeback strategy today, but the GOP presidential campaign suffered another stumble, as Steve Handelsman reports.
Yeah, good to see you too. Thanks.
George W. Bush was trying out his comeback strategy today in the battleground state of Pennsylvania, talking to smaller groups.
Some of my friends who are traveling with me say, well, the polls don't say that people want tax relief. You know, the focus groups don't say that, but that's not how I make decisions.
But the Bush campaign was taking a hit from a home state newspaper, the Dallas Morning News, reporting that Bush running mate Dick Cheney didn't vote much after he moved to Texas in 1995, sitting out 14 of 16 elections while making millions in the oil business. A spokesman saying today Cheney voted, quote, when he could. Democratic vice presidential nominee Joe Lieberman voted in 5 of 6 elections in the same period. The Cheney story is a setback for the Bush campaign on a day when the numbers again are not good. The new Reuters Zogby poll puts Al Gore at 46%, Bush at 40%. Worried Republicans are lobbing Bush advice. Bill Bennett on the Today Show.
It's the end of the third quarter. You got to get back on offense.
Al Gore seems careful not to change what's working. In New Orleans today, his main message.
I'm asking for your support on the basis of the better, fair, stronger economy that we're going to create together. I'm not satisfied. You ain't seen nothing yet.
8 weeks left. The race closer than ever. Even to many Republicans, George W. Bush has seemed to be dodging debates with Al Gore. And today the Bush campaign was set to announce a new proposal. Then, inexplicably, the announcement was postponed. I'm Steve Handelsman, News Channel 4, Washington.
White House Press Secretary Joe Lockhart is stepping down. Lockhart took the job 2 years ago and has given high marks for guiding the Clinton administration through the Monica Lewinsky scandal and the impeachment ordeal. Lockhart will leave at the end of the congressional session sometime in mid-October.
With the school year now underway just about everywhere, Hoboken is the latest system to mandate uniforms for its elementary students. But it comes with a twist, a tough dress code for teachers. New Jersey reporter Brian Thompson picks up the story.
All across Hoboken, hundreds of elementary school children no longer wear the badges of Tommy or the Gap.
They look nicer. It's economical. It's not a fashion statement no more. They go to school to learn. I like it.
In Barbara Mangiello's classroom, there's no dissent.
7 worms.
Likewise, in Mary Lou Kane's first grade classroom.
I think they look adorable. Asia, just stand up for 1 second. I want to show the shorts.
The proof may be in the smile. One parent likens this to a private school attitude.
I think the demeanor of the children has changed dramatically.
Another calls this an early morning blessing.
You pick out, you know, beige pants, green shirt, white shirt, and you're out the door with no arguments whatsoever.
A plus B. Now contrast all of that to Newark, where there is no uniform policy. But at the Rafael Hernandez School, there is an effort to get the students to at least wear the school colors of burgundy, gray, and white.
A family atmosphere, the children understand that they're dressing for success.
Introducing
all the way through high school.
High school is probably more important than the primary schools because there's so much more peer pressure on what the children wear.
Meanwhile, teachers now face a dress code that will be strictly enforced. One key item, a ban on blue jeans that some
believe that the poor days are behind us and the good times are here and they're continuing, and we just like to be spruced up for it.
It may be going too far to suggest there's a trend toward uniforms. The movement that began about a decade or so ago only picks up a couple of school systems a year here in New Jersey. But in these first few days of this school year, this school system has become a believer. In Hoboken, Brian Thompson, News Channel 4.
Hoboken estimates the cost of 5 outfits at about $125, and while that is cheaper than buying normal clothes buying, the schools also have special funds for parents who can't afford the uniforms.
Striking Hamilton teachers now face fines if they continue to walk the picket line. Some 1,400 teachers and support staff are on strike. Yesterday, the teachers voted to defy judge's orders and to return to work. Now the judge says he'll fine the union $100,000 a day if the strikers don't return to work on Monday. The union and school board remain at odds over salary increases. The union wants 15% over the next 3 years.
Nassau County Executive Thomas Galata reportedly wants to give detectives and corrections officers a 20% pay raise. The increases would be in addition to the 22% raise for county police officers. According to Newsday, Galata says the raises would be coupled with union concessions that could actually save the county $60 million. But other county officials say the projected savings are questionable. Republican legislators say the county is on the brink of financial collapse, and the Galata is giving raises that are twice the rate of inflation. Now let's check in with Michele for a look at what's coming up at 6.
Hi, Dean. Another scare at Newark Airport. Parts of a plane's engine and sparks shoot out from a Continental jet just before takeoff. It's the latest in a string of mishaps for Continental at Newark. We'll have a full report. And if you plan to go to the beach this weekend, don't miss our report. Some beaches on Long Island are closed now after swimmers say something in the water bit them and caused a severe itchy rash. Also find out why one small town in our area wants to fire all of its police officers. And if you've heard that rumor about being taxed for your email, Ace is going to sort it out for you. We'll have those stories and much more when we see you at 6. Felicia, Dean, back to you. And Dean, I just want to wish you all the best. I just loved working with you.
Oh, likewise. Thanks, Michele. We want to take you back up to Chopper 4 now. Dennis Protsko has made his way over to the GW Bridge. Dennis?
Well, good afternoon, Dean. A little bit of history saved here in Manhattan. You're looking at the 600-foot tall Manhattan side of the George Washington Bridge, the Manhattan Tower, and below it, you're looking at the 40-foot tall Little Red Lighthouse. Now, most people don't know, you can't really see this from the road, but of course, navigators here and boaters know it very well. This is the last remaining lighthouse here on Manhattan. It was built in 1880, originally stood in Sandy Hook, New Jersey. It was moved up here in 1917, has stood here ever since. Now, it's seen a lot of troubled times. It saw fire not too long ago, and back in February of this year, it was closed down for a $70,000 renovation. Now, this lighthouse is scheduled to open for tourists again and visitors this coming Sunday, the 16th, September 16th at Fort Washington Park, and you can come here and tour it and take a look at it. A little bit of history saved, the last lighthouse here on Manhattan Island. And Felicia and Dean, back to you.
Thank you, Dennis. I've never seen that.
I know, neither have I.
Thank you for the lesson.
A little bit of information for us.
Yeah.
Coming up, Kenna Reeves and James Spader team up in reverse roles in The Watcher.
But first, Glenn Walker is here with a look at what's coming up in sports.
Well, Dean, up next, the Mets return home after a less than amazing road trip. We'll talk with Mets first baseman Todd Zeile, who will join us live from Shea Stadium. And the Yankees are in Boston. Did the Red Sox fans get it out of their system last October, or is Roger Clemens in for another rough night? That's all coming up next on Live at 5.
With the most Emmy nominations, you can expect the best new shows from NBC. The adventure begins. Michael Richards is back in The Michael Richards Show. David Alan Grier and Delta Burke in Dag. Katie Seagal in Tucker. Yasmine Bleeth and Victoria Principal. Titans. Oliver Platt in Deadline. Steven Weber, Chris Elliott, and Amy Peets in Cursed. From the producers of The David Letterman Show, Ed. The best new shows this fall are on NBC.
Five-star meals from world-renowned chef Michele. Celebrity, the one cruise that puts dining in a whole new light. Celebrity Cruises. See life on a different level.
Celebrate all of life's little adventures with style, not to mention with big savings. During the Ford Authorized Clearance, get into a Ford Explorer with four-wheel disc brakes and power everything. America's #1 seller just got more affordable. The Ford Authorized Clearance at your Tri-State Quality Ford store now.
I just want to celebrate, yeah.
Now's the final days. Get into Explorer for just $299 a month for 24 months with $949 due at signing.
Okay, you're selling your home with a real estate agent who gets a 6% commission. That's some pile of cash you're giving her. And that's her new car. But if you call yourhomedirect.com, we'll sell your home for only a 2% commission. Give you great service and you keep the money. Now that's YHD selling your home. That's your cash now. And that's your new car. Call YHD for a lower fee.
Il cucinare un diletto gioioso e fatto con amor. E per un pranzo perfetto la pietanza deve avere un buon sapore. Uè, che bella esperienza gustare il formaggio Palio. L'ingrediente essenziale per dare quello che ci vuole. Il formaggio Palio, il perfetto Palio.
Glenn Walker's in for Len Berman tonight, and a homestand finally for the Mets.
Boy, they certainly need it. Well, you know, September is not the time to go 1-5 on a road trip, but it just happened to the Mets. But now they are back home for a 6-game homestand, and it begins tonight against the Phillies. And joining us live from Shea Stadium is Mets first baseman Todd Zeile. Todd, thank you for joining us.
Anytime, Glenn.
Hey, listen, you got a rare day off yesterday. How good was it just to get away from baseball for about 24 hours?
It was nice. I think the team needed it. I needed it personally just to rest the knee for another day. And I think we always like coming back home with a clear head. So I think we're ready to go.
Now, you provided the one highlight in that road trip with a game-winning home run in Cincinnati. The biggest problem, though, was the bullpen. They couldn't hold a lead in the late innings. Do you think they're getting a little worn down now?
Maybe a little bit, but you can't expect them to be perfect all the time. They've been so good for so long. And if we'd been scoring some runs for them, I don't think you'd even have that as an issue right now. The offense had been down, and we just really couldn't come up with the big hits when we needed them. And we had chances to win a lot of games on that trip and didn't do it. So get the offense rolling, I think we'll be fine.
You guys went on a real tear from the All-Star break through August, then September came. Is there tension now in the locker room a little bit just because everybody's getting a little tight because you're chasing the Braves, you're trying to hold on to the wild card spot?
No, I don't think there's any tension at all. I think this team has gone through the first lull of the season, really. We have been very good for a long time, and you know, the offense just really slumped all at the same time. It usually hadn't been that way. Somebody was always there to pick it up. We slumped all at the same time right now, got a few losses. The good news is, as far as I'm concerned, Atlanta beat up on Arizona and kept that cushion there for the wild card. So if we just do our business, we get a chance to, you know, meet up with Atlanta and take care of ourselves.
Yeah, speaking of the Braves, you got them twice more this month. Do you think you can catch them?
Certainly we can catch them, and we're a couple of games back, and we play them 6 more times. So the obvious answer is yes. The question is whether we're going to put ourselves in a position to be able to do it when we face them, and that's what we're, you know, trying to do, is to be close enough that, or ahead of them when they come in here and we go to there, so we can, you know, control our own destiny, if you will.
Well, one thing good is you've always played well at Shea Stadium this year, so hopefully you'll get back on track tonight. Todd Zeile, first baseman for the Mets. We thank you for joining us.
Anytime. Thanks, guys.
All right, and by the way, Mike Hampton will pitch tonight for the Mets against the Phillies' Bruce Chen. And up in Boston, Roger Clemens back at Fenway. The Yankees and Red Sox begin a big weekend series. It is the Rockets' first appearance at Fenway since last October, when he was blown out in a playoff matchup against Pedro Martinez. Now, that day, many Boston fans who could not swallow seeing their former hero in a Yankees uniform showed absolutely no mercy to Clemens or his family in attendance that day. There should be Fenway fireworks tonight.
Well, I know it's a great rivalry, and hopefully we'll entertain the fans and have some big games. Hopefully we'll win. You know, it's intense baseball. Everything counts.
It'll be a really exciting September matchup against obviously one of the best teams in baseball, you know, with one of the richest traditional rivalries, you know, in sports.
And we'll have highlights coming up at 11. Of course, at 6 o'clock, we'll have a U.S. Open women's semifinal action. I just want to say, Dean, it's been a pleasure working with you.
Thank you so much. Right. Likewise. Take care.
All right, let's take a moment now and see what Tom Brokaw is planning for tonight. Tom?
Thanks, Felicia. Tonight on NBC Nightly News, NBC's Robert Hager has turned up a memo on the Ford Motor Company from more than a year and a half ago, indicating the company was aware of the problems with those Firestone tires. Why it didn't take action, why Firestone didn't take action, a continuing question. George W. Bush changing tactics, changing slogans, and changing his idea about presidential debates today. We'll get through all that tonight as well. And we've got a homegrown story for our national audience tonight. A man who strongly believes that one way to educate kids and keep them motivated in life is to learn how to build wooden boats. And he does that in the Bronx. We've got all that and more coming up at 6:30. Back to you, Felicia and Dean.
All right, thanks, Tom. Coming up, a thrill a minute.
Keanu Reeves plays a maniac in the new movie The Watcher, and James Spader, well, he plays the good guy. We'll have a review from Jeffrey Lyons coming up next.
see it now. Call today for the Tony Award-winning production of Cabaret at the legendary Studio 54.
I thought my numbers were impressive. Our Economical Ambassador paint service is only $189. Mako is good, fast, and a great value. It's Mako for makeovers. Call 1-888-MAKO-USA.
Is this horizontal world ready for a vertical sandwich? Oh yeah, the new KFC Twister. How good is that? 2 huge crispy strips of white meat chicken, fresh lettuce, tomato, and a peppery sauce rolled up and ready to go. 360 degrees of just plain delicious. How good is that? KFC. Try the new KFC Twister for just $1.99, and today the drink's free. How good is that?
Today's Man is closing 3 stores, and that leaves us with a massive surplus of name brand suits, sport coats, pants, coats, and shoes that needs to go fast. Save 50% on Today's Man suits, made in Italy, made in England. Save 50% on famous designer brands like Gianfranco Ferré, Louis Farrow, Ungaro, Casper, and Jones, New York. $5 million of the best men's clothing you've ever seen at 50% off savings. Today's Man. Dress smart. Shop smarter.
Everyone has a dream.
New Pick 6 Lotto from New Jersey Lottery is now even dreamier. So how will it change your dreams? There are more winners, more millions. And now for a limited time, buy 2 Pick 6 Lotto tickets, get 1 free with the coupon in Sunday's paper.
New Jersey Lottery.
New Pick 6 Lotto. More winners, more millions. And now buy 2, get 1 free with coupon.
That's right.
Rough close to the week on Wall Street. The Dow Jones Industrials finished the day down another 38 points at 11,221. And the NASDAQ took it on the chin, too, off 119 points, down to 39.79.
It had more than 9 lives, many more. But come Sunday at 6 o'clock, Cats finally brings down the curtain. This spring, June 25th was announced as the closing date, but Cats managed to claw its way through the summer months. The show, popular with children and tourists, has run for nearly 20 years and has been seen by more than 10 million people. Keanu Reeves lands a sinister role in the new movie, The Watcher.
He plays a serial killer on the prowl. Here is Jeffrey Lyons with a review.
Late summer isn't the first time of year I would associate with a crisp thriller about a serial killer. It seems more like a dead of winter genre, doesn't it? But The Watcher is just that. This is a complex, adults-only story, of course, about a maniac and the troubled federal agent hot on his trail.
His last alias was David Allen Griffin. I worked the case for 3 years in Los Angeles. We attributed at least 11 homicides to him.
Right from the beginning, The Watcher goes to work and rivets your attention. First, it's superbly cast because it's against type. For once, James Spader isn't a sinister yuppie, but here a troubled FBI agent. He just missed capturing a serial killer in Los Angeles, and a life was lost in that effort. And now the maniac, played by Keanu Reeves, cross-casting #2, has come to Chicago to kill again and to torment the G-Man, now based out of the Windy City. And in this scene, Spader, before identifying himself to a local detective, has arrived home near the latest murder.
Did you not happen to notice that yellow police tape mark, "Do Not Cross," on it?
If you're done with that, I'll just take it and go home. It's all right.
Do you know this woman?
No, I've never seen her. What happened? She dead?
Well, I haven't made any reference to homicide. Why would you hasten to such a conclusion?
Well, you got half the block taped off, and you got, what, about a dozen cops in there? Up your crime scene, it just doesn't seem like someone boosting stereos to me.
Now, the casting does go awry a bit with Chris Ellis with a southern accent cast as the Chicago detective on the case. But Oscar winner Marissa Tomei as the troubled agent psychiatrist shows that the movie isn't all mayhem and car chases. It takes the time to get into the protagonist's head.
No, I don't think vengeance has anything to do with it. I think there's a story, a ritual that he follows. Over the years, I became part of the story.
The Watcher has some holes in the plot, but they aren't large enough to diminish this film's stunning impact. It's a better-than-average thriller fans of this type of movie are sure to enjoy. And on Sunday today in New York, an interview with the great actor Morgan Freeman. I'm Jeffrey Lyons, News Channel 4.
Sounds like a good one.
It does. Something to do this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Although, speaking of good ones, the weather's
the weather's
pretty
going to be pretty nice. We thought maybe there might be a shower here and there, but that might not even happen for us, which would be great.
Let's look at the forecast for the country tomorrow. If you're going to be traveling from coast to coast, not bad in most locations. Maybe some stormy weather around Miami. Highs near 90, but 80s in the Midwest. Back to Denver. Pretty nice. 91 in Dallas. Our 5-day forecast, 81 here tomorrow. We will have some clouds around. There is a slight risk of a shower, but mainly north of the city. 82 and beautiful on Sunday, 83 Monday. Next chance for a lot of rain will be on Tuesday with a high of 80, and then cool and breezy Wednesday with temperatures in the 70s. And you know, first there's Cats that's closing, right? And now Dean Shepard is leaving Live at 5. What is the world coming to?
Oh, well.
I'm really going to miss you.
It's been a great 4 years, though. I've had a ball with everyone here.
That's good. I just wanted to say, you know, you're a classic guy and going to miss you, and it was great working with you. It really was.
Likewise. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
See you soon.
Okay.
Now, here's a look at what's coming up on Weekend Today in New York. Beginning at 8:30 tomorrow morning, why this allergy season might be a doozy and how you can control it. Then the star of Broadway's Les Miserables joins us to talk about the hit show. Plus, Twist magazine with the latest makeup looks that even parents will like. And then on Sunday, beginning at 6, Warren Eckstein on how to keep your pooch from feeling blue when he's home alone. We're also going to cook up an autumn dinner with the fresh produce of the season. All this and more coming up this weekend. And coming up next, in News for Your Health, irritating side effects of certain pain relievers.
And an inflammatory disease that could cause infertility in women.
Car insurance bills getting too hot to handle? Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. At least you'll feel smart when the car insurance bill arrives. Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
I'm too sexy for this city. Feeling wild. Aren't we all?
Naturally. In Macy's? Where else?
Sometimes the clothes make all the difference.
Coming up at 6.
An engine failure on a Continental jumbo jet, but the airline says its fleet is among the safest in the air.
Plus,
there's something stinging people in these waters, and it's not jellyfish. Why many ocean beaches are closed.
Coming up at 6.
The speed of doing business has changed. If you can't keep up, opportunities pass you by. Verizon can help. With Verizon Online DSL over your existing phone line, you get affordable, super fast access to the internet. Now with Verizon Online, plus free installation and service connection, just call 1-877-375-2601 and bring your business up to speed with Verizon.
Free food at Petco? Let's party. Just use your Petco Pals card, buy 10 bags of your favorite premium dog or cat food, and get 1 bag free. So get on down to Petco, where the pets go. Got your free Petco Pals card? It's the way to save at Petco. Now, Pals members save an additional $1 off select specially priced 20-pound bags of Science Diet cat food. Now buy 10 bags of Science Diet and get a same-size bag free. Petco, where the pets go.
Closed captioning provided by Toyota. Real values every day at your Toyota dealer.
In News for Your Health, inflammation and infertility.
And weighing the pros and cons of a popular breast cancer drug. Here is Dr. Max.
Thanks, Dean. Felicia, tamoxifen has been seen as a godsend for breast cancer survivors. But could it be doing as much harm as good? A new study shows that women who take the drug are at slightly higher risk for developing an aggressive form of uterine cancer. Tamoxifen is used to prevent relapses in breast cancer survivors and for women who are at high risk for the disease. Women taking the drug should be watched carefully for warning signs of uterine cancer. However, researchers still say that the benefits of the drug for breast cancer survivors are worth the risk. Well, people suffering from Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis may turn to aspirin and ibuprofen to manage their pain. However, new findings suggest that people suffering from inflammatory bowel disease should avoid a class of painkillers known as non-steroidal anti-inflammatories. Preparations such as Advil, Motrin, Nuprin, aspirin, and ibuprofen were found to aggravate symptoms of IBD and may even trigger the disease in people who are predisposed to the condition. Acetaminophen, such as Tylenol, is a safer pain relief option for patients with the disease, although the others can be used, if necessary, under close supervision. Well, public health officials tell us that we're in the midst of an epidemic of both sexually transmitted diseases and infertility. It may surprise you to hear that the two are connected when an STD leads to pelvic inflammatory disease. Health educator Lenore Myers has a message that makes college students sit up and listen.
1 out of 5 couples, when they experience infertility, it's because somebody in that couple had either gonorrhea or chlamydia.
Lenore is talking about pelvic inflammatory disease, or PID, most often a complication of gonorrhea or chlamydia infections that travel from the vagina to the uterus to the fallopian tubes, often leading to infertility.
There's 1.2 million cases of PID a year. And if we understand that 20% of them are going to have fertility issues, I think it's a real health issue.
Dr. Garcia says PID is the #1 cause of infertility among patients younger than the age of 30. The problem, symptoms often go undiagnosed until it's too late.
We only realize that the patient has such a problem when they consult for infertility. We find out that the tubes are blocked, dilated, and many times almost destroyed and beyond repair.
The symptoms of PID are abdominal pain, fever, and abnormal discharge. It's important to seek treatment as soon as possible, but symptoms can be mistaken for other problems, so doctors recommend annual testing for sexually transmitted diseases. Lenore Myers tells her students they can prevent PID.
If they want to have intercourse in their lives now, and they want to do one single thing to help make sure they can have children later on when they want to, it's to use a condom.
Yet another reason for sexually active young people to make sure they practice safe sex. Now, even if a woman with pelvic inflammatory disease does manage to get pregnant, she is at greater risk for an ectopic or tubal pregnancy, where the fertilized egg implants in the fallopian tube rather than the uterus. That can be a life-threatening situation if the tube ruptures. So this is more than just a fertility issue. Now, you can learn more about medical stories on our website. It's located at newschannel4.com. Again, that is newschannel4.com. Now, while it is important to treat the woman's infection quickly to avoid infertility, it's also important to treat the woman's partner to make sure that he doesn't reinfect her after treatment. And now, a sad moment for tonight, where it's our duty, and our sad duty, I guess, to wish goodbye to a professional who has been with us for a number of years. Dean, this is your last broadcast tonight?
It is indeed.
Now, we've worked together for many years. If we
Yes,
go back
we
to
have.
our days at CNBC, you've made me laugh, taught me a lot, and I'm going to miss you a great deal.
I miss you too, both very much.
I miss you very much. You're a real professional, and it's been an honor to work with you.
Oh, we've had a great time here. We've done some pretty good television. And I want to thank all of you, our viewers, too, because we tend to forget sometimes that our viewers are the ones who have appreciated what we've done and who have made us #1 for month after month after month. And we appreciate that. We're glad that you've voted with your remote controls, and it's an honor to have been honored by you with that vote.
And good luck in your next endeavor.
Thank you so much.
I'll miss you, and I'm sure we'll cross again.
All right. Take
Hopefully.
care.
Be well.
And that will do it for Live at 5. We thank you for watching. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Now, here are Chuck Scarborough and Michele Marsh with News Channel 4 at 6.
You're watching NBC4, the Tri-State News Channel. And now, Chuck Scarborough, Michele Marsh, Janice Huff, and Len Berman. This is News Channel 4 at 6.
A ban at the beach. No swimming allowed at some Long Island beaches.